All right, I want to nuance out what happened the last several days. I've been kind of missing in action. Also, been trading poorly, but being right about everything still. So here we go. So yeah, just back on the high time frame. Let's review what's just going on with everything. Maybe we can even switch over to this stuff. But oh yeah, it's actually relevant to look at the monthly here because we got the monthly close this week. Also keeping in mind the news. So yeah, today's Tuesday. Not much has happened in the news besides President Trump spoke today um, about the economy, and then they had something last week too. But anyways, tomorrow we've got crude oil, and then we've got FOMC. So there will be a nice little probable move in the morning, and then probably chop until the the red folder later into the close, and then just a regular day tomorrow with some PPI on Friday. So still got some nice movement here, and Friday will be the candle close, so that'll be a really nice thing to look for, something probably pretty big to happen. There's usually multiple trades on the end of the month day, candle day. So anyways, nice big move up on the monthly. Now we've been rejecting on the YM, and obviously today we did have like a change in character back above those highs with now Nasdaq showing that strength. So there might be a nice higher time frame short opportunity forming. We'll see. But anyways, let's just finish this before we get too much into the nitty gritties. So we had a nice big gap down. We had another gap down. So yeah, here's the new week opening gap there, and then we had another one. We actually had a gap up. Man, I'm rusty. I'm like, don't know where all my crap is. So overlapping new week opening gap. So it makes sense that we're sort of holding and rejecting all this, honestly. And then we had another gap up. A new day opening gap there. So lots of areas of interest here. Makes sense we're rejecting. We had Nasdaq hasn't come up here and manipulated all this stuff. Don't know if it's going to go for this actual high. If it does, then that changes the picture completely. But I think all it needed was those highs. So I want to also look at the last few days of flows. But let's just get this finished. So yeah, we held the daily. We came back up. We're sort of diverging here. Not sure if we'll go back up or not. We'll see. Did I completely mislabel that? That's the open. No. What the heck? What is going on here? Yeah, I mislabeled that. This is here. And this should go here, I think. Yep, there we go. So I had that wrong. Yeah, daily there. There's nothing on the higher time frame yet. So yeah, just lots of smooth highs there on Dow Jones. We did hold this area of interest down here. This was that long that I missed. Already delivered into a possible target. I know Dow Jones Industrial Average did take out this high. So the setup was there for the short, and then all we did was manipulate it here and confirm it. So yeah, you can see the long happened here, came all the way up to the high, took that out. We got the manipulation on NASDAQ right into here, which led to a nice little sell-off for NASDAQ, but then that just caused a nice rotation back up as we created another divergence there with Russell taking out this swing low, which is a change in character. And then now we're delivering up into the highs, and yeah, that's just the dynamics so far. We'll have to take apart more detail in a second. And honestly, these are just a little too strong for me. Oops. It's a little too bright. So yeah, new week opening gaps. We had an old daily inefficiency here. Let's just delete it. Came up, took that swing high out. We'll see if it's relevant, but we did have a nice, this is a nice market structure shift to the downside here today. 4-hour city. So that's interesting, as well as like an old so market structure shift mixed with a balanced price range. So just interesting area. I wouldn't think it would even come out up into that. It's just what I've seen. But we're still kind of, we did kind of come down to this daily. We did get a shift there, but yeah, that already sort of delivered. We had a shift here, and that so far got respected as well. Technically that's not where the shift was, but it was here, but same thing. So yeah, there was a shift here. We did come up into it, and then the order block, and then we also rejected. You can see the candles closed directly at that order block. So yeah, it looks like this wants to continue lower. We do have a change in character at these highs now. So if you can see this. And so yeah, ES. Man, it's just hard to do all this. Very overwhelming. Weekly, we've come up pretty nicely. So we've already got a nice move on the weekly. We've come through this gap already. So I'm just going to leave it over here. Make it not so freaking bright. Just a lot of old crap on here, honestly. Just need to get rid of it, a lot of it. And then yeah, just some more gaps. So gap there. And then technically there is a market structure shift here. A bullish one. Oh, that's a daily. So bullish market structure shift. So I would honestly think we're gonna go for the highs. Just make sure everything is there on the daily. You know, came down to the order block, displaced through this gap, so very bullish looking still. But we did take out this high here, this high. But yeah, Dow Jones already did take that high out, so not super relevant. But yeah, this high here, I mean, these are smooth highs now. So I think we could just manufacture that and then deliver eventually. And then we have a nice 4-hour sort of lined up with this too. And then yeah, we took that high out. Back into this wick. I'm guessing this is the alert. Oops. Alright. Cool. So that's good enough for that. But yeah, monthly it's still above there. Cool. NASDAQ is looking the most bullish. Well, I'm sorry. It's just stupid to say. It's been moving just barely. Alright. Lots of crap on here, man. Week's gone above the old crap over there. It delivered down to the area of interest there. Change in character SMT again, just like the other crap. I can delete that. So yeah, weekly you're just moving higher. Daily, I'd suspect. Oh, we didn't get a shift there. So ES is probably going to go for the highs. And now we're disrespecting this old inefficiency. But if you adjust the contract, oops. Then yeah, now we're literally, what is this? What the heck, dude? This isn't even right. Somehow they keep changing these charts, dude. Alright. So yeah, relative equal highs here. So I would suspect we're going to take that out eventually on NASDAQ very, very soon. So yeah, that would be my draw on liquidity probably for NASDAQ. Hopefully that's close enough there. Good enough. So yeah, nice little draw on liquidity on that, and then it just kind of lines up with the order block there. So maybe it's going to go for that. Maybe it's going to even sweep the highs. We'll see. If it does that, that'll be kind of confusing. But yeah, daily, nothing yet. 4-hour. You know, we do have some inefficiencies here. Lots of old crap I can delete. It's not even relevant anymore. Goodness, why are these so bright? So yeah, we inverted that. I need to mark out this gap though. Gap up there. Gap. Little gap down there. Oh, there's a big gap here. It kind of just lines up with that, and this is the new week opening gap. So yeah, new week opening gap there. And then we've got a nice little inefficiency here on the 4-hour. Probably not even relevant right now because we're probably just going to keep being bullish. Came back down to that inefficiency there. And now we're just headed up into this adjusted contract liquidity. But technically we've already swept out this old liquidity here. And then you could argue we're still in a wedge of a sort. But yeah. So yeah, I would still suspect nice sweep higher. I would suspect it's going to go pretty deep into the CE of that. Most likely just eyeballing it. But yeah. So yeah, we had divergence here with Russell. Just make sure that's marked out. R2Is to see. Long, and then now we're literally diverging above the highs. So Russell. Nice big weekly shift here. Weekly market structure shift that already delivered. I would suspect it's going to come down into this, but even probably if it's going to be bearish, I'd want to see it displace through this. That would be freaking crazy, and I wouldn't be surprised if it did that. But anyways, weekly chart, monthly chart's going to close soon. Daily daily we've got the inverted fair value gap there. I would think that would also still not even come up into here. And then yeah, new week opening gaps throughout all this. Old inefficiencies, we can delete all that. Daily down here. So yeah, we do have a daily BISI here eventually. And then 4-hour chart. Yeah, we did get the rotation into the weakness again on Russell, possibly. Maybe there's a divergence there. I suspect there probably is one, but we'll see. 4-hour chart, though, yeah, just inverted area. Nice big jagged sell-off. Very interesting. And it's funny if this is a divergence there. I think it is. Just eyeballing it. Yeah. Don't know why that alert is there, but all right. So Dow Jones. Let's just look at these guys real quick. So you can see here. Now we're getting a real divergence. I won't mark it out yet. We have that little wedge sort of sweep happening. We'll see if Q's can break the all-time high, which would be very interesting if it did. I would think ES is going to. But so far there's a divergence with ES and NASDAQ. So that's interesting. But anyways, yeah, we did have this manipulation here. SMT there with these guys, but that's gone now, so I'll just delete it. Because now we're getting the higher time frame rotation back above these highs. So yeah, we've had a very clear divergence. We came up into this order block here. On the 1 hour very cleanly. And it's like, you can look at the CE of that, it's about right there, you know, sort of closing all this stuff right on it. So that's interesting. But yeah, it's basically the same as just the regular charts. So yeah, things are looking pretty clean here. QQQE, there we go. That's the real sweep that we would want to see, just eyeballing it. I mean, it is nice and deep to the point where it's going to trigger everyone's stop losses, maybe even a little higher, and then lower. And that would still line up with what's plausible on Qs given the inefficiency up there. So I would really look for possible rotation. Still long until it's short, but if things are looking clean for shorts, then I'm still going to try it. But let's look at the last few days of flows, since I missed them. Just the last 3 days on everything. Alright. So into the highs, oops. Yeah, let's start with Dow Jones. Into the highs, nothing crazy bearish. I mean, we did get signals there. And then Russell, very, very bearish. Now it's actually flipping bullish just today. SPY was bearish, but not confirming it in any way. And this is just confusing. Like, most of the flows were in the calls, which shows that they definitely sold their puts here, which did make it very bullish. And then here they did the same thing. So they took profit on their shorts. While the tide, we just followed price. We moved up and then we moved down. And then we got kind of bearish there, which is kind of weird. I don't know if we gapped up or not there. Let's just look. So yeah, for ES, last few days, from the 23rd till now. So yeah, this little pullback here, we did get very bearish, so that makes sense. And then we gapped down, and then we opened and moved up. So yeah, that makes sense. The flows were there. They did basically call it all out. Oh, come on, dude. And then yeah, we just continued bullish, so it makes sense. I would suspect this is just going to keep going higher, which lines up with exactly what I saw on the chart. Q's has been bullish. You know, we did have some trickery flow here, but I think the shorter term is still very bullish. I'd like to see holdings. You know, they did end up dropping some of the calls, but the volume was still there. So to me, they were taking. It's just bullish still, outright. So yeah, that can. Oh wait, let's take a closer look here. So yeah, it looks like this is bullish here, but yeah, I think the Bears had their day, and now I think we're just intermediate, very short term. At least we're still bullish on everything. So that's very clean. So yeah, now we do have that divergence here, especially with Russell. It's very obvious. So down into this low, everybody kind of got a discount, and then we moved up here, took out highs. Russell's still weak, so maybe a rotation trade. Yep, right there, rotation trade with the Dow. Once this delivers into a high, which it already has technically, a relevant high, I'm assuming, is back above these AM highs. So who knows how far it'll go, but we can look at that tomorrow. But yeah, just for today at the least, I mean, it just continued to be bearish here. We'll have to take this more apart into detail when I'm here in the morning. But yeah, higher time frame is interesting. But yeah, I'm still very not clear on just a general bias, you know, is bullish. But yeah, I'd have to look at all these lows in more detail, and I actually will do that here in a second. But here it was very clear, change in character here. I don't know why that's not on there. I thought I put that down. Oh, I guess I didn't. Yeah, obvious change in character here while Russell was really strong. So yeah, change in character there, sets that up for discount buys. That was my short idea there. So what was the nuance in that short, basically? So here's I was looking short. We already diverged above this, but I guess it needs to be a higher time frame level, maybe. And I think that is the case, but while we're still bullish, we need to take out liquidity first. And that's the only thing I can think of. So we took out liquidity here. The problem is just you know, we had ES above it, but it makes sense that ES is above it. But then we did have this SMT. Okay, so we do deliver into these lows, but ES delivers there, and then we get the pop back up, and then that's like the real divergence, apparently. And so that gives the real sell-off that I was looking for. And so that would have been a nice short in ES possibly, if not in any of these. So yeah, nice short in ES. Hit everything you'd want to see, very obvious. And then even longing it makes sense here. I'm sure there's some internal order block here. I think there was one in here somewhere. But either way, there was one here, very obviously. If maybe you zoom out. Yep. Fair value gobble long right there. Boom. Taking that up to above 50%, if not in these guys. I'm sure there's something there too, right at the open. But for now, We have delivered above these highs, so I would reckon this could literally be a short here in ES actually. Problem is, nothing is really there in the flows. Everything is still technically bullish looking. There's nothing even really bearish at all. So there was a sell-off in the calls and Qs, but it kind of reflected what happened in price. So I would think that there is a short here in ES, just technically. And you just look for it back into the order block probably. Take that high out, rotate back down into this, and then maybe a final leg. We'll see. But I probably want to see, there is a little change in character here with the Dow, with Russell, so that might be the rotation back up. And this could all just be bullish still, so it could just be a pullback and then a long, just indefinite long. All right. Yeah, that's basically it for that. So yeah, NASDAQ, just a recap, NASDAQ, higher time frame, CC, SMT so far occurring, which could just mean more long indefinitely, or at least long term, or until it's clearly bearish. But the thing is, these shorts are working. This short worked. And then on top of that, it's like, well, this short also worked, and now we're literally getting a fractal of this, but on a higher time frame. So I think there could literally be a short here, at least into a discount, at least of this range, at least. Let's look at that. I mean, yeah, it could be there or there, which this one makes sense too. And this would also still be plausible. So yeah, theoretically, maybe you get short literally right now versus the high. Risk reward is not there for that first target, but it is there for that guy. So we'll have to take that apart more. We'll see what happens. But yeah, NASDAQ, we already know what that's doing. At the lows, we had the CC SMT long with Russell, rotation back into that safety sort of ideal, and then could be a short right now with the NQ move over yes, aka SPY, but I actually do want to look at that. Yeah, it could just be a short literally from here. Oh man, yeah, look at that. That pool of liquidity never really got worked that much, and there's also equal lows here too. So if you got short on SPY, it would look very clean risk reward wise. Down into this, possibly down into like that, which would be very good risk reward. And technically we did take this high out here, which was the old short area, and it did take this high out, which we're still failing here, and we are delivering that price. And yeah, I would actually look for maybe a rotation. Maybe if we get some sort of move in the Dow without these guys, then that would be the short, possibly. Just internal range. So yeah, otherwise it's a long. I don't think I trust it. I think it could still be a short. We'll see. But flows aren't there. Nothing is there to agree. So basically it's a no trade until that we figure that out. But yeah, ES, similar short idea on NQ due to NQ, but highs look clean for the long side since flows aren't there yet. And then YM and RTY been looking like they display due to the CCSMT at the lows today. And I would actually think the dollar is headed for this order block. Look at all this support, resistance, liquidity here. I had that marked out forever ago and for some reason deleted it, I think. Yeah, I'm looking for that high on the dollar. Maybe we'll get these guys to diverge above it, but or just one of them. We'll see. I mean, they're already into their order blocks, and this was a divergence order block here on the pound. So we'll see what happens. They all have the same structure with this swing high though. So yeah, maybe one of these guys, maybe both of them, want to just sweep these equal highs. But to me, this is like an actually possible clean. Oh wait, no. Wait, there's no. No. I can see it. It's just a, probably like within there. I'll move back up into this 50%. So I think there is a long. I mean, this is an inverted chart, so I think there is a long on the dollar. So I'm gonna take it once it sets up. But yeah, interesting. Crypto's moving back up. We did take out these smooth lows on Bitcoin, and yeah, nothing really. I think it's just manufacturing the lows. So I'd look for a divergence again to get short, possibly. Maybe Ethereum's going to come up into this order block. We'll see. Could just manufacture this for a while and then do it, but could be a short setting up there onto intermediate term. We'll see. So yeah, that's it. That's it for this, and then I kind of want to do my other video real quick. So I'll finish this one and put another one up here soon.